Welcome back, everyone, for another great recipe, chicken vegetable soup. That's right, it is absolutely delicious. Let's get it going. Before we get going, let's talk about some of the ingredients we're going to be using today. I've got some diced carrots, some celery. I've already got some pre-diced onion, which I recommend if you don't like to get your eyes all watery. It's not very expensive and it's quick and easy. We've got some potato, some red potato I've diced. I've got some tomato, diced tomato within the sauce. The vegetables we'll be using today will be corn, peas, carrots, and green beans. I've got some shredded chicken here, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. The liquid we'll be using today will be the chicken stock or chicken broth. As far as the aromatics, we've got some rosemary. We're going to be hitting it with some garlic paste. I got a special little ingredient here. As you know, I love to use anchovy paste, tomato paste, and then the seasonings, we'll be having some oregano, some crushed red pepper, which is optional, but I think it's delicious in this, and of course some thyme. Now, let's get rolling. And there are two ingredients, so I've already mentioned one, the anchovy paste, which is really going to take this whole soup to another level. The other one I'm going to show you at the very end, so stick around because this is really what makes this whole soup just kind of go pop in your mouth. It's delicious. So we're going to start with our cast iron pot here, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and immediately we're going to hit it with our onion. Without the paper, of course. And we're going to get our carrots and celery. In a recipe, this may be referred to as a mirepoix, another French term that's often used. And in Louisiana, if you're making gumbo, they use carrots, celery, and peppers, and that's called the Holy Trinity. But the mirepoix is carrot, celery, and onion. And so we just want to get this to become nice and translucent. And in order to get that going a little faster, we always hit that with a little kosher salt and cracked black pepper. What are we doing? We are developing a layer of flavor, and that's the whole key. As this is getting down, what we're going to do right now is I want to introduce some tomato paste. Now you might say, as I've talked to you before, well, Chef Brian, you've got tomato paste and you've got diced tomato. Why all the tomato? This tomato paste we're going to put in right now, about a tablespoon. And what this is doing is not only adding a level of flavor, but this is going to act like a kind of roasting the tomato. It's going to give a very rustic flavor profile versus just a diced tomato. And again, when you add your ingredients, it makes all the difference in the world. So this tomato paste is going to really set on a new layer of flavor. Now, we will go ahead and add our garlic, a tablespoon, which is the equivalent of about 2 cloves. And then our first secret ingredient, which I think is a must, is some anchovy paste. And you need probably about a teaspoon of this. And let me tell you what. No one will know you did it, but they will definitely know that there's something special in here that they can't identify, and you can just kind of smile and smirk and laugh to yourself, because we know here in Chef Brian's kitchen all the little tricks. All right, look at that. And we are creating just this amazing kind of rustic mirepoix. It's already loaded with massive flavor right now. So what I want to do before we even get further is I want to let this go for about 2 to 3 minutes. I want to get everything to come together as one big family, as we always talk about. get that tomato paste to kind of take on its rustic flavor and mold in with the carrots, the celery, and the onions. The anchovy paste, the same thing, and the garlic the same way. We want it all to come together. So give it about 2 to 3 minutes. We'll be right back, and we'll go to the next step. Stay right there. All right, come on in here. I want you to look at this. You can see how it's getting a little darker. Oh, it's looking so amazing. And all that flavor has come together as one. Look at that. Now, let's continue on with adding some more layers of flavor. We'll take some dried oregano, a dash, red pepper flake, a dash, and some thyme. We want to get that all going. Now we'll introduce our tomato, diced tomato. Probably don't need the whole thing, so that's about a half a cup, which is plenty. And now I want to introduce our potato. This is just red potato, and as you've noticed, I've cut all of the ingredients, the carrots, the celery, the onions, this potato. They're all about the same size. We want them to cook evenly. So we're going to get these potatoes all mixed in. We want them to release their beautiful starch. We'll add some more body to this soup. Then we'll go ahead and also add our vegetables, and that's about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of frozen vegetable that I have thawed out lightly under some lukewarm water just to get the ice off. And you can already tell this is looking fantastic. And at this point, what I want to do before I add our broth is get in a little bit of kosher salt and black pepper, because we've added a lot now for the potato and the vegetable. They need to get some love, so we will give them some love. All right, now we will go ahead and add some chicken broth, and we are going to put enough in to cover the top of our ingredients. Here's my rule of thumb. Just like so. And we get this. Look at that. And no, I have not forgotten about the chicken, but the chicken is completely cooked. And we will talk about that when we come back. But what I want to do is I want to get this to go for about 10 minutes, because we've got a lot of ingredients in here now. We've got our stock in here now, so everything's got to come together as one is what we really want to do. But before we go, I do want to get some fresh rosemary, and I'm just going to add one large sprig, if I can get one off. There we go. And just put it in just like this. And there's an old funny trick, funny saying that I learned when I was studying over in Italy, that if you bowl this up, whoever gets the rosemary into a bowl, this like that, and they don't have to do the dishes. So it's kind of a funny little thing. I enjoy it. But really, honestly, after the soup is finished, you can just pull out that rosemary. If some of it falls off, that's even better, because it's adding another layer of flavor as well. All the perfume is coming off. That's what we're looking for. But if it's still completely whole, just pull it out and you're good to go. Give this about 8 to 10 minutes. We want to make sure everything comes together really, really nice. Remember, the burner is on a low simmer is what we want right now. Stay right there. Be right back. All right, come on in here. It's been about 10 minutes, as you can see. It's all coming together beautifully. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Now at this point, before we do anything else, we want to taste our broth to make sure we get the flavor profile just where we want it. Just take a little bit out like that. That is so good. Definitely needs some more salt. Probably about a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon of black pepper. And that's why we taste. We want to get it right. Now, we're going to go in with our chicken. Now, let me talk about this chicken. This is shredded chicken, and this is rotisserie chicken that I had left over. Now, as we're filming this, it's around the holidays, right before Thanksgiving. So, let's just say, if you celebrate Thanksgiving and you like to eat turkey on that day, you could do this exact recipe, and you could make turkey vegetable soup. Take your leftover turkey, like I did, chop it up. This is rotisserie chicken, like I said. And I can tell you, I've made this soup probably over 100 times. And I've done it all different ways with different types of chicken. I've done chicken breast diced up, I've done thighs, you name it, I've done it. What I have found, though, is using the rotisserie for some reason, and I even keep the skin on, it adds so much unbelievable flavor. I highly recommend. So there you go. So let's put this in here. We've got a lot. So probably got at least 2 cups there. Get this in here. Man, oh man. Now at this point, we've got a lot of flavor in there and a lot of ingredients. We're going to add a little bit more chicken stock. So let's just watch that. Just want to get this. There we go. Perfect. Again, cooking is not about absolute everything to be perfect all the time. You can just have to eyeball it and play with it. So there you got it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That looks amazing. It really does. So we're gonna let this go probably for 10 to 15 minutes. But before we do that, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about when I was first making this soup. Now, come on in here. I want you to look at this. When I was first making this soup, I had just come back from my apprenticeship. It was a master chef apprenticeship over in northern Italy. Fantastic experience. And I think I've mentioned before, I started under 2 master chefs. It was quite different from my American culinary experience. But I was all excited because what it taught me was about layers of flavor and all about learning out layers of flavor, which is what I want to give to you so you can become a better cook, layers of flavor. And so I remember coming back to the States, and I was having a dinner party, friends, and I was all excited, and so I decided to make this soup. And we're sitting down, and I got everything together, and I'm all, the layers of flavor are all coming together, and I'm tasting it. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. They're gonna love it. And I remember everybody took a bite, and this one person at the end of the table says, oh my goodness, Chef Brian, this tastes better than Campbell's. And I walked back into the kitchen, kind of like put my head down and that, and I said to myself, I don't know what that means. Come to find out that that was a compliment, because people have put Campbell's way up here as far as, instant or canned soups, and Campbell's is a good product, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people have never really tasted beautiful fresh broth and fresh ingredients, and doing it from scratch, it just has a whole nother identity. So when they said better than Campbell's, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. You're giving me a compliment. That was beautiful. But I'll never forget that story. Oh my goodness, it was fantastic. So look at this. It's really, really coming down. You can see it's all coming together. And by the way, if you want to learn more about layers of flavor, what seasonings to use, when to use them, what kind of pots and pans to use, whether it should be stainless steel or whether it should be cast iron, how high of heat should you put your oven on or your pans on, when should you throw out your spices, what is foodborne illness, how to prevent foodborne illness. There's so many things that I teach in my ebook. It teaches all the fundamentals, okay? And you can grab your copy. There's a link in the description box below. It's not a cookbook. It is a fundamental kind of guide to help you raise your culinary confidence. So grab one if you choose to. All right? Okay. So we're gonna let this go for another 10 minutes. We get those potatoes nice and cooked. Man, it's looking so good. And as I always do, we'll see when I come back if we're going to add a little bit of the cornstarch slurry, because you know, as I say, I always like to have my soups a little suspended, and what cornstarch does is it will suspend it and hold those vegetables and all the ingredients, the potatoes, kind of together as one, and it just looks great. And you know, it's just kind of my preference, but we'll see, because some of that starch, the potato, may keep us from doing that. Either way is fine. It's up to you. That's just my preference, but we'll see what happens. I'll be right back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you in a minute. All right, welcome back. Come on in. Look at this. Everything has come up perfectly. All the ingredients have come together as one. I have decided I'm not going to add the cornstarch slurry. I think the potato did enough, and I do like a little bit of that looseness of the liquid. So I think we're good. And before we plate it up, we always want to take a taste of our broth again. See where we are. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is fantastic. All right, before we go and plate it up, you know, I like to add a little earth so we get some fresh parsley. Because, again, at the last minute, because we want that parsley to create another layer of flavor, but just on top in every bite. And as promised, one last secret little trick that will take your soup to an entirely another level, and that is some lemon zest. So I have a zester here, or you can get a grater, whatever you want, but this is really, really nice. And so you just take the end of the lemon here, and we're gonna do, there's something about the citrus, not too much, we'll probably use a little bit more than that. See how it's coming off there? So probably about a teaspoon. There we go. And that's all we need. And then you always turn it over, and you can see, don't forget that. All right, kind of captures that on the other side, and just like so. And then we get this all in here. That just a little bit, that 1 teaspoon of that lemon zest, I'm telling you what, you will just be so surprised at what this will turn out to be. It's incredible. It really is. All right, so let's take it to our bowl here. Let's see what we got going on here. Look at this. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. And then take a little bit more fresh parsley, put on top like that. If that is not worthy of a 5-star meal, I don't know what is. And now, for the moment of truth, let's get it. Oh man. Ooh. Okay. That is so good. That is so unbelievable. I gotta go back for another one. Get a potato in there, some chicken. Oh my gosh. This is just incredible. I love this recipe. And it's so simple, as you saw. Come on. Well, we got a dangling piece of chicken, but why not, right? So good. So unbelievably good. Oh, I can't wait till you try this. Let me tell you what. It's so simple. And again, as I've always stated, it's all about creating the layers of flavor. That is what this recipe is all about. I can't wait to hear how yours turns out. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. And I just, it's just been an amazing experience to hear so many amazing comments and beautiful comments, and just, people that have literally learned something through these videos and have actually raised their kitchen confidence. And I just, makes me feel so, so good. I can't wait to see you on the next video on Chef Brian's Kitchen. I am Chef Brian. And remember, as always, eat well and stay healthy.